Hello everyone, it is me, GamePanguin21, and today we're going to be looking at, well, a Steam Deck rant video. Yeah, I know, but this is somehow worse than the Quantum TV videos like the whole series of videos he was talking about. And this is one that I really didn't want to cover. It's not that it's not that I didn't want to cover it. I do want to cover this. This is one that I just don't see as this one's like a very recent one, and I found out about this through through some discords and stuff, mainly for Tanga's video suggestion thing. So I wanted to get on top of this at least for right now, because no one else is talking about this. Everyone else is talking about this other review where the person's like, "Oh, this thing's like too really fucking heavy" and stuff like that. And that's one that I wanted to cover. I probably will cover it next time, but consider this more for the start of the holiday tradition. Or not really a holiday tradition, I shouldn't say that. But this one is a video by a channel by the name of Canadian Gamer, and I immediately knew I wanted to cover it because this thing has, like, at the time of recording, over 1K views, but has only 21 people liking it. And I'm fairly certain that this thing has now gotten ratioed into the shadow realm in terms of likes to dislikes. I don't have the likes to dislikes bot thingy on, or like extension, because I really don't want to like look it up, and I'm lazy, okay? I'm very lazy. I will hopefully eventually maybe get the likes to dislikes thing to be able to do that and put it in the thumbnail. Maybe, I'm not certain. But this is fucking stupid. Like, I'm just gonna be clear, this video is dumb. For several reasons, which we will get into. But I think this is a long enough intro. Anyway, let's get into why, apparently, the Steam Deck fanboyism and shit is running wild. And let's get into this guy's rant. Tear it apart. Gotta love intros like 30. You gotta love like 5 to 6 second intros like that in 2022. It's the best.
How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer, coming at you with another rant. Now today, wanted to get something off my chest. Wanted to talk about Valve's handheld, the Steam Deck. Yes, the Steam Deck. So there's a lot that I want to say about this product. I don't think we're going to be able to cover it all in today's video. But where do we even begin with this thing?
I mean, where do we even begin with your video? In all honesty, other than that 30-second intro, my guy, your video basically looks like it's just straight out of 2012. I'm gonna be honest, Chief. In the entire time that you've made videos, and I'm assuming that you've made videos for a bit, I would recommend get a new camera. Like, literally get a new camera. I'm fairly certain that my phone camera is better than yours. And I have a phone that's like a 6 or a 7. And it's an old iPhone. And I'm fairly certain that this camera is better than yours. Like, I've taken pictures with this thing, and they are pretty high quality. And I'm using this phone camera literally for an art project. Get a new camera. Get a new camera. Like, one that is better than this. Because you're making Harmon Smith look like a freaking film student graduate with this camera quality. It is disgusting. And also that PNG of the freaking Steam Deck. Jesus Christ.
So the Steam Deck launched earlier this year, I believe. And yeah, let's just get this out of the way. It's not cheap. You have to order it directly through Valve, right through the Steam website. So you have to log in and create a Steam account. And the console, the idea of the console, it's basically a Nintendo Switch knockoff, if you will. Very similar aesthetically to the Switch. Obviously, it's more powerful. The Steam Deck's got about as much power as, let's say, a last generation console, if you will. So there's
Ha 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 ha. Good joke. That was so not funny. I love the fact that he says, like, oh, it has as much power as the last gen console. Like, that's some sort of burn. Dude, it has as much power as, like, a PlayStation Pro. And you know what doesn't have a lot of power? You know what is not as powerful as the PlayStation or the Xbox or last gen consoles? The fucking Switch. Oh my god. It's almost like there is such a thing as the physical world, and there's only so much technology that you can cram into a specific area. And let me be clear here. I'm not saying that the Switch is bad. I'm just saying it's not as powerful as the other consoles that it's competing with, yet it is still very successful because of its small, travelable, pocketable, whatever the fuck format. And let me be clear on this. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that that's like that objectively speaking the Switch is worse, because there is a lot that is positive for the Switch. But in comparison, stats-wise, in terms of hardware, the Steam Deck versus the Nintendo Switch, the Steam Deck will still kill every aspect in comparison to the Switch, because the Switch just doesn't have the hardware to back it in order to do the same thing. And again, you're saying, oh, it only has as much power as a last-gen console. Motherfucker, this thing can be literally stuffed in a backpack and taken with you on the go. The Steam Deck, my Steam Deck has become my daily carry because of how portable it is. It just lives in my backpack, and then I just whip it out, set it on down, and play video games very easily. It's almost like, oh, I don't know. The fact that this thing is as cheap as it is goes to show you how fucking good the Steam Deck's value is for the money. In my opinion, that is.
A lot of greasy neckbeard nerds in the community that have their dicks right in the air over the Steam Deck. And so let's take a look at the prices, shall we? So I've got it right up on my screen here. So an entry-level Steam Deck, get this, it's $499 Canadian. I don't know what the shipping and handling is on the console. Again, you can't buy it at retail. And that comes with 64 gigabytes of memory. And then you can get the next model up, which jumps up to $659 Canadian. So at that point, it's more expensive than a Series X or a PlayStation 5. And you can get 256 gigabytes of memory SSD, $659. And then for $819 Canadian, you can get the Cadillac model, which comes with 512 gigabytes with SSD. So
I find it interesting how he says that it's more expensive. However, didn't the PS5 recently go up in price in specific areas? Didn't it do that? Like, it's more expensive than the digital edition, I'll give him that. But in terms of pricing for, you know, the game for you know, other stuff, this literally costs a lot. It costs about the same. And again, $100 difference, kinda, sort of. Maybe even a $50 difference depending on your region, as this didn't really go up in price. And again, you're saying that this thing costs more than the console. It's like, yes, it does. I will give you that. But this thing is pretty powerful, and it is a portable PC as well. It can do more than just be a console, my guy.
Yeah, not cheap. You can't go into a regular brick and mortar store. You can't go into Walmart and take a look at one of these things. Heaven forbid you'd want to look at one before you purchase it. Heaven forbid you'd want to look at one. So you have to roll the dice and order one of these online. Wait God knows how long for it to arrive. And then when it finally does arrive, you get to be the cool kid on the block, because you know why, folks? You've got a Steam Deck, okay? Big fucking deal.
I love how he says that like it's trying to be a gotcha again, where he says, oh yeah, it's a huge fucking deal that you get this new piece of technology that you paid for, and that it will take 1 to 2 weeks, literally in that screenshot that he's doing, in terms of getting it, and 1 to 2 weeks is not that long, in where they're shipping. Not only that, there's the fact that the whole thing with the Steam Deck is, again, it's more than just a regular console. It's a PC, too. So, yeah. But you have to... And what a boomer mindset that this man has, where he says, oh, you can't see it. You can't try it out. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can return it. That is a thing that Valve, I think, will be able to give you. Like, they have a return policy where you contact them and say, hey, I would like to return this thing. And they would be like, oh, is there a problem with it? Oh, I just think of blah, 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 blah. And they'll give you your money back, I think, hopefully, maybe. I'm not sure if they're doing that. I haven't heard of people returning their Steam Decks as of right now. However, my guy, my understanding individual, my Canadian motherfucking gamer person thing, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And again, you're going to be exposed a little bit later in this video, as I've seen this a few times now. And you're saying like, oh, you have to, the way that you're going to present your case in saying that, oh, it's a little bit expensive. Okay, then don't buy it. Or buy the cheaper version and then just buy something, buy like an upgrade thing for it. Or something like that. It is stupid, the stuff that you're about to present. So we're just going to get through this little bit here. Probably try to fast forward through it a little bit.
Where do we even begin with this fucking thing? Where do we even begin? I think I would rather have a Nintendo Switch than a Steam Deck. So, my biggest gripe with the Steam Deck, other than the price and the fact that you can't even go into the store to look at one, is the fact that Valve has pretty much put a fucking gun to your head as a consumer and told you the only way that you can play games on this piece of shit console is if you subscribe to Steam, Valve's online store, and be able to purchase games digitally. You can't run physical games on the Steam Deck, and play your games that way. Apparently there's significant compatibility issues with the Steam Deck. So I heard from someone who has a Steam account on their computer and they've got like over 350 games. And when they booted up their Steam Deck and logged into Steam, the Steam Deck was only telling him that only about 150 titles could potentially run properly on the Steam Deck. Wrap your fucking head around that. Good lord. You've built up this huge catalog of digital downloads on your PC, and then you log on to the Steam Deck, which you'd think wouldn't have any issues running every single game in your catalog, and apparently it's not the case. There's compatibility issues.
You know, I love how he tries to use this as a kind of gotcha. See, this is the problem. This is a major problem here. This is a huge thing. Even though, Valve made it very clear that they're not all of their games are going to be doing it. So you can even do even the modest amount of research that they have a literal system that tells you what the fuck games you can play on your deck. And going backwards through his points, he says that he has over 300. He has a buddy with over 300 games in his things, and it says that only 100 of them are playable on the Steam Deck. Let me just be clear and say that, and let me be like more understanding here and say that maybe like 100 of those games are more in the yellow ones, with the 50 being in the green. Just to be kind of modest about that. But looking at what he said, that's still like over half of his library that he can play on the Steam Deck. It's again about half of his library. If he has 300 games, it's about a half of his library. What the fuck is the problem with that? What console, all right, what console do you know that recently launches that has over 150 games at launch that you can play with no issue. Like, name me one fucking console that has that. It has over 150 games. And he then says, he goes to show how ignorant he is about the fact that Steam is a storefront and Steam is free. You don't have to pay to shop at the Steam storefront. You don't have to pay to use their services. You have to pay them for the games, and you play on their, you play the games on your whatever the fuck system you're using, including the Steam Deck and your computer and whatnot. You play those games on their system, and you inevitably buy their games, and you don't rent their shit. You don't have to pay them any more than if you don't want to buy certain games. And guess what? They have tons of sales all the time as well. It's baffling to me that you think that and he's going to go on to say something even more fucking stupid, but Valve, you don't have to pay Valve to make an account. You don't have to pay Valve to use their services. Steam is free. You can download Steam. You can make an account all for free on Steam and use their website. There is no extra payment outside of playing the game with them, or outside of paying for the game. There is no extra payment.
Which brings me to my next point. If the fucking console had Windows installed, it would be so much better of an ecosystem, folks. Imagine if it had Windows 11, right? Right? You could run your emulation, you could run your abandonware, you could run DOSBox, you could fucking log into good old games. But no, Valve puts a pistol to your head and tells you you have to become a member of Steam if you haven't already. And that's how Valve makes their money, right? You buy the Steam Deck, they get your foot in the door, right? And they get your buy-in, they force you to download Steam and start accumulating digital downloads, which is essentially a rental service. And all you fucking neckbeards out there fell for it. Oh my fucking god.
Wow. Dude. No. Just fucking no. Valve's services is not a rental system. They're a storefront. You buy the games from them. Yeah. They're all digital. There's no physical games on Steam, but you buy. What kind of boomer mindset do you think that Steam's digital services are a rental system? Again, to reiterate my points from before, a rental system incurs the fact that you need to be paying in some sort of way continuously. There is no continuous payment once the money transfers to Valve and they give you the game. You are buying a product from them, a digital product from them, and they are giving you that digital product. They're giving you access to that digital product. You don't have to pay Valve extra to use their chat services. You don't have to pay Valve extra to utilize and look at their storefront. And yeah, you can log into GOG actually, and you can emulate games on there, and you can, I think, use DOSBox. I'm not sure. I haven't tested that out personally, but I'm fairly certain you can find ways to do that. It's not like that shit doesn't exist. Because guess what, motherfucker? EmuDeck lets you emulate everything. That's the stupidest part about that. A lot of people bought the Steam Deck for emulation. That was one of their main big points. They bought the Steam Deck because you can emulate literally fucking everything in that set. In fact, in my recommended videos that I'm looking at on here, I've only just now noticed this. In the recommended section, there is literally a video titled, "This Could Replace Every Device I Own." And I've seen that video. It's by Taki Udon. And I've seen that video. And the entirety of that time, he says that on that system, if he had to choose one system to replace all the other systems that he has in his possession for emulation and shit like that, it would be the Steam Deck, because the Steam Deck can emulate everything. And again, someone has already done most, if not all of, like 99% of the hard work. They got DuckStation. They got the Nintendo, like, whatever the fuck systems. You can emulate all of them, and it's very easy to install. Like, and despite what Quantum TV, the idiot that he is, might say, it's really easy to emulate on the game system. It's practically like ready and waiting and stuff like that. And you're saying like, oh, you can't emulate on it because we don't have Windows. You don't need Windows to emulate, dude. You just need an operating system that's open enough to do that. And guess what? Oh my God, Steam Deck has SteamOS, which is a fork of Linux, which, if you didn't know, is an open source operating system with a whole bunch of customizability, way more open and way less resource intensive than Windows. My guy, you did not do any research.
But every single person I've spoken to that bought a Steam Deck, you know what they're doing with their Steam Deck? They're sitting there staring at it. It's a fucking paperweight, okay? Good fucking Lord. Good Lord. You'd be further ahead to spend $700 or $800 on a decent laptop, not a gaming laptop, just a decent laptop, and install your games on the laptop through Windows.
Wouldn't you do the same thing, though, with Steam? Like, why would you install it through Windows and not through, say, again, Steam services? I mean, again, a buddy of mine who's not even a gamer, I recommended him a 30 series laptop, which was around $100 more expensive than the computer that he was rocking before. And I've actually done this. And yeah, it will run games very effectively, and it will last for years if he takes care of it properly, which I know he will. But it will last for a long time, and it is better than the Steam Deck in several regards, mainly in the fact that it also has like a 3090 and shit like that. But the Steam Deck still, I love my Steam Deck, and it still is a great machine, and I love it. And I have a laptop that is a gaming laptop, and I have a work laptop as well. Like, I have like 5 or 6 different computers, and because I have my main desktop here, I have my mobile laptop, my mobile gaming laptop that I keep. I recently wiped the thing to try to make it into a DJ setup, but I'm putting some games back on it to just some minor stuff. I have my work laptop, which I utilize for work and school and shit like that. And then I have my Steam Deck, which I've actually started using a lot more as my media consumption thing. It's not that I don't use it often or I find excuses to use it. I use it, and it's just nice to have. Yeah, it's like your phone. Your phone is something that you're not going to be utilizing all the time in the same vein for stuff. Like, I can play games on my phone. I can play things like Call of Duty Mobile on my phone. And yeah, I know, Call of Duty. Shut up, I love it. But you're saying that what you're just saying is just wrong. And it's in a lot of ways stupid. Where you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, you don't have to buy this thing. You don't have to use SteamOS the entire time. There's methods and ways to fix the issues that you're fucking issues that you're fucking talking about. And again, you don't even have one. Why are you making this video if you don't have a Steam Deck physically in your hand to talk with or to even do, if you just don't care about it? Like, what the fuck, dude?
So what I'm seeing in the community is there's a lot of elitism and consumerism surrounding this device. There's a lot of gamers out there, they call themselves gamers, and they buy the Steam Deck just so they can pump their chest in the air. Look what I have, look what I have. I've got the latest gizmo. I've got the Steam Deck, ladies and gentlemen.
You must be great at parties.
Look what I have. Look what I have. Fuck off. Wrap your fucking heads around that. For a mid-tier Steam Deck, $659 Canadian, plus shipping and handling. You can't test it out before you buy it. You can't even touch it or look at it. You have to order it through Valve's website. Whereas you can walk right into Walmart, right off the street, and for $599 Canadian, you could buy one of these. Unfucking.
I mean, can you test it in the store? Can you, like, play games in the store on the Xbox? You know, you didn't mention that. You also said that you buy it digitally from Valve and that you can't look up reviews on it. Again, there are people out there who are reviewing this thing. There are people out there who are recommending this thing, and then they're giving their opinions on it. Those people exist. Literally, again, Taki Udon, the guy that I mentioned before, 100%, he made like several reviews on this thing. And I'm fairly certain if I remember his content and stuff correctly, he lives in China. So it was actually much more difficult to get a Steam Deck. And he actually got a second one. Like, he got one from a secondhand retailer for pretty expensive. And then sent him one. So he has two. Like, he got contacted by Valve, and Valve was like, here, look, we're sorry, we couldn't get it to you in time, but here, take one for free. And he's like, this is awesome. And it's mind-boggling to me that you, again, are trying to say that trying to tell us to fuck off, and yet you don't fucking understand half of the stuff that you're saying, like 90% of the stuff that you're saying is wrong. In saying that you have to, that Valve stuff is a rental service. You don't have to pay them for anything more than just buying a game. They're a storefront. That you have to buy it through Valve. Yeah, of course you do, because they don't want to incur any more costs to the person. And the shipping is about $50 or $60 ish, dependent on where you live. At least for me, it was 50 to 60 American dollars. So factor that in, will you? But you're looking at this and you're saying, like, oh, this is expensive and you should go out and get a laptop for it. It's like, okay, cool. Go out and get a laptop then. Why the fuck are you making this video? Saying that there's, like, an elitism of people that are doing it. It's like, no, we're showing off our cool tech. We're showing off that we got a cool thing for people. And, like, I've memed on it. It's like, and I know that this is for, like, the meme and stuff like that. But it's like, I have my Steam Deck and I like my Steam Deck. And it doesn't replace anything massive in my life. It's just an extra cool device that you have. It's like, that's like shaming people for getting the new iPhone and then saying, hey, look, I have the new iPhone. It's like, that's the same shit. It's like, you wouldn't, and yet you're touting, and you're doing the exact same fucking thing. You're saying, oh, that I have this new gizmo and things. Like, don't people already do that with things like the Xbox? Aren't you doing that with the Xbox, saying that that's like the newest console gadget thing? Isn't that the same exact energy? Like, literally exactly the same thing. You touting the Xbox is like this awesome thing. Touting the Switch is this awesome thing. Isn't that the same thing as touting that the Steam Deck is an awesome thing? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what the hell?
Unbelievable. Are you gonna play Starfield on your Steam Deck? Are you gonna play Starfield?
God, I hope so.
No, you're not.
How the fuck do you know? Seriously.
Because you don't have Windows and you don't have an Xbox. So yeah, there's so much that really pisses me off about the Steam Deck. It's so niche. It's so fucking niche. Just like the fucking Mister and the Framemeister. God, I hate these products where you can't go into the store and look at.
Then you must hate the Xbox. Because, I mean, you can't really go into the store and try out that. You mean you can go into the store and try out the PlayStation, I think. And I think the little bit of the Switch. It's like going into the store and looking at them. It's like, oh, I like going into that. It's like, what a boomer mindset that is. What a boomer mindset. This dude is like what, a millennial or something? Like he's talking like a boomer. It's like back in my day. Jesus Christ. All right, moving on.
I can't fucking stand that. And like I said, the icing on the cake is the fact that you have to install and subscribe to Steam OS, which is garbage. Who uses Steam OS?
Considering that the numbers have been going up since the launch of the Steam Deck, not a lot of people use SteamOS technically, and yeah, SteamOS is only available as Valve's thing. Like, it's Valve's OS system that they're putting on the Steam Deck to utilize it, and you're making fun of it as it's like a new thing. You don't even know what the fuck it is, and you're saying, oh, you have to install Steam on it. It's like, Steam is already installed and ready to go. The only thing that you have to do is power on the machine and just set up, maybe, if you want to set up emulation, download it onto the Steam Deck. Or if you want to just, like, say, play video games on there, just download them. And again, you're saying like that they don't sell physical stuff in the games and things like that. And it's like there's no physical things. It's like, dude, PCs have been digital for a while. And again, if anything is a rental service, the Xbox Game Pass is a rental service, legitimately. PlayStation Plus is a rental service, legitimately, because you're continually paying to utilize the fucking shit on your games. I'm losing my thoughts here. But you're paying more and more and more to utilize them. That's what a rental service is. You pay a monthly subscription, and that's it. And like, how the fuck are you going to say that Valve, who doesn't charge you to make an account, who doesn't charge you to utilize their services like voice, text, video, community, posting, their internet services, they don't like let you pay for that. You already pay for your own internet. They just piggyback off of it. They only want your money for the games that you buy off of their storefront. That's literally it. And again, Steam and GOG are like in competition with each other. How the fuck are you gonna say that GOG is better? GOG is better than Steam. I'm not dissing GOG. I'm just gonna be clear on this. GOG is fine. GOG is cool. GOG is great for its own separate reasons. Personally, I like Steam. That's my own personal opinion. If you like GOG, go off, queen. Like, go ahead and kill all those people on quick. Fantastic. I just personally like Steam. All my games are in one place. It's nice. It's cool. It's not a rental service. You don't pay them more than if you want to play other games. Jesus. All right, moving on.
Seriously. So, this seems like it would be a good idea. This product seems like it would be a good idea, A Nintendo Switch killer. A Switch for adults. If it had Windows installed on it. But no. For this price, for what they're asking, and all you have is SteamOS, don't give me that, oh, you can install Windows through some backdoor way of getting around everything and sideload. No, fuck off. If it doesn't come with Windows...
So, you're presented with a way to put Windows on the piece, on the Steam Deck. A specific way... a legit way, a way that you can do it and work perfectly fine, and yet you're like, nah, I don't want that. If it doesn't come with it, it's fucking whatever. I don't want to be challenged or to be like, or to have to personalize it and make it in my own experience. I want it to come with it. I want it all to be on there because I deserve to do that for what I paid for. It's like, you're sounding very entitled to the fact that you just want this thing to be a Steam Deck competitor, which Steam Deck competitors, by the way, do exist. I'm fairly certain that like there's the Win 10, which is more expensive than the Steam Deck. Comes with Windows, but it's not as powerful as the Steam Deck. There's another one that's coming out where it's also like trying to be as powerful as the Steam Deck, but it's still, again, more expensive. And Linus did a whole video on this where they tried to match the price of the Steam Deck on a build for a computer, and in the end, they just couldn't. The price to performance was off and weird, and it was just Valve has very little. They're like the price leader in this context. It is incredible because they don't have to rely on Windows and stuff for that reason. And you're saying that, oh yeah, it's one of those things where it's like blah 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 blah, and there's all these problems with it. All these problems are subjective to you specifically. And again, you're not listing any off of the legitimate actual problems that exist on the system. Like, you've noticed the compatibility thing. Valve is working on that, more or less, and they are very, very good at the upkeep of their stuff. I'd say one of the more bigger issues, though, with this thing is the battery life, personally. The battery life is fine for the most part, but there are certain points where it's like, yeah, the battery life could be a lot better. It's just saying, battery life could be a lot better. In my personal opinion. Anyway, let's finish out this video.
From the fucking factory, I'm not interested. So, yeah, talk about a steaming pile of crap. All you elitists out there bragging about how you purchased a Steam Deck, and you're acting like it's the second coming of Christ. You guys need to give your fucking head a shake. You guys got taken for a fucking ride. Oh my god. It reminds me of back in the day when I bought the BlackBerry Playbook tablet. And like, after a couple of years, it was a fucking paperweight. That's what the Steam Deck is going to be. It's going to be a fucking paperweight. In about 2.5 years' time, it'll be completely outdated. You won't be able to upgrade the hardware inside the device. You guys are just test monkeys. Because if Valve had real faith in their product, they would sell it at the point of sale in a retail store. But because they don't, that leads me to believe that this thing is just beta testing. And you guys that bought this fucking thing, you're getting taken for a fucking ride. Okay? You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay 3 times over what you paid for the Steam Deck by way of digital download rental services, rental games through the Steam OS. You guys are getting fucking suckered. Good fucking lord. Fucking Steam Deck. Absolute fucking trash.
You know, I wanted to let that play out so that way everyone can hear just how stupid and all of the points that he tries to make into this fun little conclusion here. There's around 30 seconds left of the video, and that's just his outro and whatnot. So yeah, I'm just going to reveal that right now. But let me just say, I love how he just immediately then goes in for the attack in saying that you guys are getting taken for a ride. You guys are doing this. It's like this thing sucks. Even though you haven't legitimately listed out any of the other reasons, you don't seem to know anything about the technology that's inside of the Steam Deck, or realize that it has like a Ryzen Zen 2, a custom Ryzen chipset system with a fairly solid game things, and that it's as portable as a Nintendo Switch with the freedom of a PC, with the power of last generation consoles, which is pretty powerful, by the way. And it's almost like, again, you just didn't do any research and have no idea what the fuck Steam is. Like, you just need a Steam account. Steam accounts are free. You don't need to rent the games from them. You buy them digitally from the storefront, and you can keep them for as long as you want. A rental service, you eventually have to return the shit. You don't have to return the shit when it's in when you have traded the money for the good that you have presented to them. It is, again, like you just haven't done any research, and you have somehow made Quantum TV's whole legacy on the Steam Deck somehow make more sense, and somehow seem at least a little bit credible. Not by much, mind you, as that was not a high bar to clear. At least Quantum had the Steam Deck, and at least the other dude who made that video about it being, like, different, at least they have the Steam Deck. You just don't. And you're, again, saying that people have this elitism on the Steam Deck. Are you fucking me in the ass right now? Like, are you legit just taking your fist and trying to make me into your puppet? Because, bro, the amount of elitism I've seen from Sony, from Microsoft, from Xbox, and Sony ponies, and Nintendroids, and all that other shit, like, this channel is built on people like you. People who think that their way or the highway is the way that this industry goes. I need you to understand one thing, and one thing only. before I conclude this fucking video, you are an idiot for considering that anything new outside of the consoles is, like, stupid. And again, you're saying, oh, buy this, don't buy this, don't buy this. Isn't that the exact same thing as people, like, touting the fact that they bought a Steam Deck? Aren't you touting the fact that you bought this fucking Xbox Series X and all of these games and shit? Isn't that you touting this new hardware shit? Isn't that the same, like, energy that a person who, I don't know, might have a new iPhone, or might have a new PC, or might have a new, I don't know, PlayStation or Xbox? Jesus, it's almost like, you know, people want to show off cool shit that they bought on social media for no other reason than for clout. And by God, are you a fucking dumbass for saying all this stuff that is not even true about about Steam and PC gaming and stuff? You have less, like, it's, I want to quote the Happy Madison clip. It's like, that nothing you've said throughout this entire video is right. Everything is wrong. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Everyone in this room is now dumber because we've had to heard this shit. But guess what, sir? I made it entertaining. Congratulations on cracking 1K and getting fucking ratioed into the next dimension with this take. That's gonna be my time, folks. Anyway, I've kept you long enough. Sorry for the long-ass video, but this thing was 10 minutes long, so I want to get through it all as much as possible. But yeah, in any case, this is like the third time I've done this, but my name is GamePenguin21. This video is so brain dead and so stupid, but don't go and hate on this guy. He's a dumbass, but whatever. And a peace off.